Must be Flipper Christmas, because I'm getting a whole string of real fun flips. Check this one out. This started off like, yeah, no big deal. And then it was like, oh, that's a big deal. Got to the house and I saw the deck here, and I'm going to show you something really interesting right there in a second. It's also deteriorated. I looked over here and saw this deck. But if you notice, everything looks discombobulated here. You'll notice that this railing slants down. That railing is sticking up, but slants down, and everything's leaning over to the right. They've got this really awful grade. If you look right here, all of the ground just slopes right underneath this deck. But this is where it gets bad. Over here, and I was like, okay, that's not real tight. But this got way worse. As I came over here, this is actually a support post that goes all the way into the ground for the whole deck. And I came over here and I was like, well, that's not real stable, but watch this. I don't know if you guys can see the fence over there. This entire deck that's a big bunch of nope. So I was going to go underneath, but they had all these panels screwed in, and so I couldn't get in, and so I had to use my screw gun. I'm not supposed to use my screw gun, but I did use my screw gun. Came down here, and I unscrewed this here to get underneath here. And this is where I went, what in the hillbilly hell? All right, so what you will notice is this room up here used to be a deck, and then it got enclosed and turned into part of the house, and so they added a deck onto the deck. You can see where the water's just been gushing underneath here for, I don't know, 100 years. And they've got these are actually proper lolly columns. They are completely rusted out. When I say completely, like very rusted. And this one over here is just kind of propped up on eroded soil on a couple of stones, a couple of rocks. I don't know if you can see this or not. I almost fell down. I'm all right. But you can see they just kind of have some rocks piled up there. And then this is where I looked over here at the deck, and I was like, okay, so my phone is straight right there. That's plumb. You can see that isn't real copacetic. That's the support post. And that's apparently some sort of brace they put in. And over here, we'll just use some scrap scabs to put in there. You will notice no joist hangers. Those are probably face nailed, but it gets way worse. As I looked up here, yep, they used drywall screws to put in these joist hangers. So as you move your way around here, you'll see they're all rusted out. I tell my clients, don't line dance with 20 of your friends on this deck, or you won't have 20 friends. One of the worst things I saw was, you can see where all the water is coming down, flowing right against the house. In the deck, I noticed this little square here, and as you know, inquiring minds want to know. At first glance, you might be going, it's just under the deck. But then you look a little closer, and you see an inlet there, and an outlet there. This is the old septic tank. If falling through this decrepit deck isn't bad enough, look on the bright side. You're going to land inside the septic tank. That's a big bunch of nope. So if Franken deck wasn't bad enough, let me go over a few things here. You're going to notice this sidewall coming down the roof, and you will see there is no diverter or sidewall kickout flashing there, which is causing water just to kind of pile up here and run down this deck. So that's not good, because literally a $2 piece of metal riveted or screwed up there would solve that. But here's a defect I don't really get to talk about very much. You notice that valley right there? You see how those shingles are woven across that valley? Come over to this side and it's the same. It's called a woven valley. And you are not supposed to do that with architectural shingles, because it bends the substrate, it damages it right on that valley, and that is the first place that the shingles are going to wear out and they're going to lose granules. You are supposed to do a cut valley, and there's supposed to be metal flashing or some sort of flashing under the shingles there. So that's an improper installation. Now if you guys look right here, I'm going to break out my little laser here. You see this right here? You see that patch where they patched that concrete? This is the kind of stuff I talk about all the time, where they have repaired the damage, but they have not repaired the cause of it, which is this slope that goes all the way down against it. Look how terrible this grade is right here. That's like, look how terrible that is. So they patched the foundation, but left the cause of the damage. And if you notice where the grade is the worst, it's where you get all this spalling. You see that deterioration of the concrete? Yep, you guessed it, this gets worse. All right, so under the deck, these are where those rusted supports were, right there, along there. So as you can see, this used to be a deck. They enclosed it and then they built a deck onto the deck. That's always good. But as you know, can't be a good inspector without having blue balls. Show you guys some really cool closet features. If you want to put your clothes in this closet here in this bedroom, it's good to share and share alike with the person in the other bedroom. And then you guys can fight over who's making the closet rod fall down. I don't know if those are stairs, if you'd consider that a ladder. I'm gonna call that a ladder. But at least they put a center stringer in. I think they had a deck contractor do these stairs.
There and the deck in here.
Yeah, true. And the best part is, I believe that the deck contractor was a little short fellow, about yay high, because that right there is very close to the ground. There's a reason stair treads are supposed to be 11 inches. The very worst things you can find in a basement when you come down here is brand new drywall. Now you're on an inspection and the first thing that pops into the inspector's head is, gee, I wonder what they're hiding from me. But as I walked over here, I noticed this moisture staining on the ground. And for those of you who know, first of all, you never put drywall in a basement touching the floor, because then it's just going to soak up water and capillary action is going to happen. So let's get a baseline here. This drywall down here is 15.2%. It's a little high, but that's still within acceptable percentages. Let's go right down here to the bottom and see what we got. That's a big bunch of note. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna recommend an invasive inspection, which means pulling this drywall down, because you never know what you're gonna find behind that wall. And the fact that we're seeing brand new drywall that is wet, we're gonna wanna know what's behind it. Me, I like to call out good workmanship when I see it. And you can see here, they've got four, look at those, 4 2x6s as supports, going up to this really nice looking plate here. And then these go up and support the main carrier beam, because that is good workmanship right there. There's nothing like holding up the second floor with some quality redneck engineering. Telling my clients on this water heater, we have a couple problems. Number one, this vent is sloped the wrong direction. You will notice this is slanted down. And we've also got these nice carbon monoxide holes here. And I said, because I want you to wake up when you fall asleep, I'm gonna put that in your report. And we're just gonna say that's excessively notched. You don't want a line dance there either. Through the house, I'm doing thermal imaging. And what I do is I go through and I look for, heat sources. Like over here, we have a heat register. So I came in here to the kitchen and I was like, man, where's the heat? La, 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 la. Oh, there's the heat. It's right there. It's right there. Right there. That's a big bunch of nope. Best part, the chef's kiss. Check this out. A heat register there. Got a heat register there. That ain't working. That ain't working. We got these up here. Believe it or not, that looks like it's working, but it is not. That is the insulation that is inadequate. And then up here, we have that one doesn't work. None of those work. I love flips. In case you were wondering, if you're wondering why there was tape on my hand, here's your sensitive content warning. Turn away and look away if you don't want to see the occupational hazard that happened. I may need medical attention. What are you guys thinking? Should I maybe go get that looked at? The best part about being a home inspector is when clients bake you brownies. That's a big bunch of yep. I love my clients.